only got the chicken. Or the,
Did they get my bar of soap?
No, they did not steal your bar of soap. Although your room was pretty trashed when you got through there, and you found that some of the neat things were gone. Like the children had a good eye for that sort of stuff.
Was that everyone? Yeah?
Yes.
Ooh, I assume at some point Ludo and I are probably back in our cabin.
Yeah, we'll say that there's a brief moment while everyone's giving their statements where a bunch of you were standing around within earshot of each other. They kind of kept you sequestered for a time from the others because there is a dead body and they have to go through certain procedures.
Yeah, wouldn't hold out much hope for these lads returning any of our stolen belongings. We may have to find them ourselves if we want them back, and I myself desperately want it back.
I'm sad that I lost that dragon fruit.
Oh, a dragon fruit?
Yes. It was a fine memento.
What? Are these guys still in the hallway over there?
They're dealing with the body.
Token of the seasons.
They have not picked up the body, the dagger that was dropped by the body, or the sling that was dropped by the halfling.
We'll probably...
I think those should be taken.
Add a masterwork dagger small and a masterwork sling small to the party treasure.
Who is this Gaedran? What do you know about him?
I guess we're close enough to be talking, right? He's a filthy, vile man who preys upon the weak, and...
We've slain skeletons together. That seems like something. Sort of slain skeletons together.
Sort of.
That seems like something, maybe? Yes, sure.
Vile man, he preys upon the weak, the young. His specialty is what I would call brainwashing, in which he starts calling you a part of his flock or one of his lambs. And from then on, you kind of build a dependent relationship with him. It's either his way or die in the streets. So, other than that, his dimensioning, his teleporting, I can't speak to that. I was never... He has definitely advanced his production, as you might say.
Where did he stay when he was in station?
Well, mainly when we were running around, we were sewer people. For the most part, the station has a vast system of sewers. It was nice. Might explain his stink and his disgust and his climbing of walls.
But does it explain his teleportation or his dimension dooring away?
No, I feel like he might have stumbled across something very important that allows him to do these things, or he is in cahoots with somebody else now. And who's allowing him to do these things or supplying him with the correct knowledge of how to do them.
So he's in cahoots with somebody who has him steal stuff on a train that goes through the ethereal plane.
Theoretically.
I don't think I caught your name, fair fey creature. What was it again?
Oh, I'm called Pharisee.
Ah, Pharisee, it is a pleasure to meet you.
And who are you?
Ah, you've not heard of the great Professor Henry Sinclair Chalmers III, Emeritus of
Sinclair Chalmers III, Emeritus of
yes,
something, yes.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yes, no, I've heard of you, yes. You're very famous.
Ah, well, thank you. You recovered one of those skulls, did you not?
Did I?
I think it was in that room with you for a moment. Perhaps you're rattling around still.
Maybe.
I would very much like to see it once things have calmed down.
I could let you take a look at it, but...
Excellent.
You don't get to keep it.
No.
I'm planting cactuses in its eye sockets and using it to decorate my house.
I would very much like to see that. Yes.
You're a decorator.
I think I'll put cloth in the mouth to keep it from clacking too much.
Could be an alarm clock.
It is like little woman, says Manny. I'm still searching for his voice. His accent's all over the place.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be doing that.
Pharisee's dancing on his fingers.
Pixel.
Strange.
Yes. Pixel, so you told me about Gaedran, but I've seen Gaedran before too. Gaedran collected up Fae, like Pixel, in a bag and sold them to...
Pixel's making like this little silhouette of like this really frightened person.
Yes.
It's almost like she's a mime, even though mime is the lowest of all art forms. But she's on Pharisee's shoulder, kind of like acting along with the story.
To the sorts of people that would use them.
Do I know this?
Pixel was the only one that survived.
Oh.
I was most upset.
I can imagine. Well, at least one made it.
Just the sort of decay that you see in the city.
Hey guys, this is Kenny. When Kenny's caffeinated.
That's pretty funny, isn't it?
You've never heard of diamond, jewel, money, pence, dollar bills? That's a pretty big deal. All right. So you guys are chatting when Poopsie comes running in.
Oh, it's the non-magical dog.
It's just fucking yapping at all of you. Mommy, there they are.
I'll step
evil-eyed
behind the
Poopsie.
fence and I'll say, "Quick, fence!"
On saving throws.
Poopsie's doing this thing where it's like dragging its butt and like trying to get away at the same time as yelping. Oh, Poopsie, what happened? Oh, hello there. She says, I hear that there was an attack of sorts back here. I honestly thought my daughter would be safe. She was supposed to be up front in first class. This very, very blonde, beautiful woman.
Sense motive?
She's grateful that you guys...
Was her daughter supposed to be up in first class, or was her daughter supposed to be up in first class?
I think it wasn't nefarious. I think it was more of like she thought her daughter was safe on the train.
Yeah.
And maybe is sort of an absentee parent.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry, madam. We took care of everything, kept your daughter safe.
She's dressed in kind of like a combination of like a gypsy gown, but also trying to kind of made up like she's an aristocrat. She's got perfume on her. She's a little bit sweaty. She is carrying what looks like this very, very large, ornate-looking deck of cards. It's called a harrow deck. It's like this world's tarot cards.
Yeah. Your daughter's dolls. They're very interesting, aren't they?
They are. Inherited from our family. We come from a long line of seers. I'm part Romani.
Oh, my dear.
Romani, they're like gypsy folk. They've said that they've got one foot in the other realm and are able to see things. Prophets, occultists, rogues. Interesting that she would admit that. She's probably not the type of thing to admit unless this is what she does, is sells in a confined quarters on a 3-day train trip, sells her services to wealthy folk.
Sensing someone with some amount of money, I will elbow as best as I can.
When Manny seems to be perhaps a little superstitious as he takes a step back from her when she says she's Romani, and she smiles at that.
Allow us to introduce ourselves, the defenders of the train, the almost catcher of thieves, and unlike exactly, heroes of the day. I am Professor Henry Sinclair Chalmers III, Emeritus at Rusterman University. I'm sure you've heard of me.
Did you say professor? She says.
Yes.
She seems to gladden up at the title and allows you to kiss her hand. Give me a diplomacy check.
They're both trying to get money out of each other.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What a dance.
You can dance if you want to. Leave your scruples behind.
21?
She seems very interested in you being a professor, and you're just polite enough that she accepts it. I do not have anything to thank you, but I could do a reading for you.
Oh.
Free of charge, she says. The cards are often obscured, but with such brave and strange folk as yourselves, perhaps they'll tell something. Yay, we're gonna do a reading, says Cassandra. And Poopsie is still like doing this circle, like dragging his butt around.
What did you do to the dog?
I gave him the evil eye.
You can make a spell. You can make a knowledge arcana check of what Pharisee did to the dog. There is a visual. It's not secret.
Yeah, I'll
Well, it might be secretive, but it's not like.
It's not undetectable.
Another 21?
Oh, yeah, you've got a real live witch on your hands here.
Ooh. I will make note of that for a later reference.
Please, things seem to have settled down. Could I do a reading for you?
Yes, of course. Please step into my cabin unless you have more accommodations.
I'll do a reading for all of you. The readings are absolutely unremarkable. They are stereotypical voodoo, like, you know that she is just basically telling you what she thinks you want to hear.
Chinese cookies.
She sees that you're a minor and tells you that you're going to hit the mother lode and just keep at it. She tells the professor that he'll be known for this grand treatise that he'll write and find the thing. She tells the Fey woman that there will be a big Fey festival in the future and that you'll be the shining jewel of that festival. She tells Manny that finds out that he's a minor as well and that he'll share in great wealth. She tells the elephant person something. She actually doesn't recognize you as a Tusker because she just may not know, but she tells you that you will become a great leader of a commune of fants, like just a bunch of fanciful stuff that may or may not be true.
Do her cards look remarkable though? Are they old? Is it
the cards are of beautiful make, and harrow cards look like this.
Yeah.
So you can look through them.
But the deck itself, her daughter has these ancient dolls.
The deck does look old.
When she gives the reading, I'm definitely gonna play into it like I really buy it. I probably think it's bullshit, superstitious nonsense, but
You could flip through these things. I'm not going to do the full reading because you don't think that she's a caster.
Yeah. But I'll play into her whole thing. And when she finishes my reading, I'll pick up one of the cards and ponder it for, say, about a minute as I focus on it. And 31, a psychometry, to try and read, the past of this deck. Is it, real old shit?
Did you just nat 20 of that?
Yes, I did.
There was someone in her family that could invoke magical powers from a deck such as this. And you learn that in Cassandra's family, her name is Lila Despana, in the Despana family, the gift of prophecy and divination always skips a generation.
After she finishes and I've pondered this for a moment, I will say,
And now, fair lady, a reading for you. I can't let such beauty as yours go unpaid.
No, there's something wrong with Poopsie. I think it ate something bad.
He's surely okay by now.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Poopsie's
But also, he's a dog, so he probably ate something bad.
Right.
I will proceed to tell her,
This deck once belonged to a great pharaoh reader. Could conjure up magic from the deck.
Oh, speaking about Grandma. That was Grandma's deck of cards. I think she got it from her mom, and her mom before it. Yes, these cards are very old.
But I must tell you a secret that only you can hear.
and I'll lean in close to her and whisper,
Okay. Her mother watches you closely.
oh, I'm talking to the mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely like telling the mother about all this.
All right. So she leans in. She's intrigued.
The gift skips a generation.
And I'll lean back and wink.
She is not pleased by you saying that, and come along, dear. We've traveled these for long enough.
As she walks by, I'll just say to her softly, "You know everything connected to station is dying." And then wander off.
Okay, that makes her convinced that she's now done talking to all of you.
Ludo lets out a boo.
In the next 2 days, and this is where we're going to leave it off.
Also, before like we go to bed there,
Yeah.
Well, lads,
once we were kind of alone, specifically the Ludo, because we had a moment at the bar there for a second, I'll say, well, the thieves didn't quite make off with everything. And I'll do one of these and wink at him and pull the bottle of whiskey that I poured.
The way we're going to end tonight's session, which was
Or
which
did
was,
they?
which was really good, by the way. I'm excited about this. Is
It's gonna be a lot
that
of fun.
as you guys are like just doing daily chores or kind of waiting in the train, each and every one of you begins to be haunted by something. Ludo, you're pretty sure that your toothbrush wasn't on the ground for too long. It's been dirtier before, so you were just sort of brushing your teeth, and you noticed that something went, like made that sound, and underneath your little tube of toothpaste, there's this strange-looking card.
okay.
He's obviously going to grab that.
Okay. The card does not look like it sort of looks like the same style of cards, but it's a different color than the deck of the harrow cards that were used before.
Mhm.
It's got like a pattern on one side. Do you look at the underside?
Yeah.
Okay. There's this weird misty form, and it starts to form letters. And it says an address.
In station? Or I wouldn't know, I guess, huh?
It says 13 Harrowstone Lane. You may want to mark this down.
Yep.
I'll probably forget about that. Like you pick it up, the words form an address, and then they start kind of turning into a cloud again. Pharisee, you were like putting your little cactuses back in their thing and making sure they're all planted, and you're like, I probably don't need to water them because they're fucking cacti. You're dealing with your little skull. When you heard. And it was just sort of stuck out underneath where the skull. There was a noise in the wrapping where the skull was. You would unwrap the skull because it was making some chittering. There's something inside the skull.
Yes.
It's a card.
Pixel, did you see anyone mess with the skull? That little girl, perhaps? No. do you think they're fair about? I'll say in Sylvan, you can show yourselves to me.
Pixel's looking around, like looking in vents and that sort of thing.
I'll pull the card, detect magic, and look at it.
You kind of like pull it out of underneath where the jaw is to avoid its sharp
Can't
looking
have you
teeth.
there. The skull will just chew you away.
The card says 17 Harrowstone Lane. Words appear and then kind of turn misty. You might want to mark down your character sheets. You guys have a magical Harrow card. Professor, you were next morning studying your spells.
As one does. I will.
And is this card stuck out of your... You thought it was... That's not your bookmark.
I will cast Unseen Servant and say, Shadow, fetch whatever that is. Show it to me.
Okay. The thing picks up the card and comes hovering towards you.
Can I see which card it actually is?
No, it's got a stylized front. And then it flips over and there's no face to the card. There should be faces, like there should be pictures and faces and names of things.
Mm-hmm.
But it just simply words form and say 17 Harrowstone Lane.
Remarkable.
Yeah, was it 13? 13
I
Harrowstone
thought it
Lane.
was 13.
Yeah,
It's 13 for him.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
curious if he was going to be
Yeah,
It's,
and then
it's the same number.
When
Yeah,
you said
okay.
17, I was like,
2 words, Harrow Stone.
All one word.
That makes sense.
13 Harrowstone Lane.
Get to you in a second.
What's
It just says an address.
Most peculiar.
Two of you know where that address is. You live very close to Harrowstone Lane. There are a bunch of shops and things. Like you don't know exactly which number, but you know Harrowstone Lane. It's in the slough. Your house is close by, and so is your apartment.
I'll remark to the non-sentient shadow creature next to me. This is a business card for another Harrow reader. I am quite impressed by the market.
Zephyros, while you were, you said you had your tusk on you, right? Your broken tusk? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you had your spellbook on you. So, while you were cleaning your tusk, you've got a little grooming kit.
Yeah.
There's a sound of, this weird sound, and you notice something kind of stuck between, a polishing tool and a clipping tool.
Yeah.
It is a card, and you flip over, reads 13 Harrowstone Lane.
So that's what my magical arrow card says.
Yep. You recognize Harrowstone Lane. Your master's apartment is very close to Harrowstone Lane in the slough.
Okay. Noted that down. But I don't know the address specifically. I only know it because my master's.
Yeah,
it's
Well, you know where Harrowstone Lane is. There's a
Alright.
bunch of shops. It's in the slough, which is kind of like the lower class area of Grand Central Station Metropolis, or Grand Central Metropolis. Do you guys do anything with the card?
I'm going to keep it around. I'm going to see if it says a different address tomorrow.
Yeah, it showed you the address, and then
Yep.
it just kind of misty, and it's like a blank card now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, I'm gonna ponder on it for a while, though. I'll spend a whole day studying it in various different ways.
In your psychometry way?
Psychometry, detect magic, I'm gonna really go to town with my professor brain on it.
I think Ludo's going to test this card after he's like what the hell? He's
Yep.
gonna like try and just rip a corner, see if the thing's
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but you rip it.
okay. And that's all. Well, he'll do a little rip and go, hold it. Huh. Okay. Kind of looks around and like peeks out the door and looks around and like puts it in the front pocket and carries on about his day.
Okay.
Doesn't really want to mention it to people, thinking he might be going nuts.
That's one way of doing it.
I might be going nuts. Interesting.
Sure.
The psychometry, you get the following. You actually get a bit of a echo from the card. It is a strong echo. If the card was there or nearby or attached to something of great pain, it is the panic, fear, and worry that could only come from a mother when their child goes missing.
Dear.
It is accompanied by an unearthly cold, and when you delved into the aura of the card, you could actually see your own breath in the room.
Ooh. Marvelous.
You're left with sort of like a sick feeling in your stomach. I'm assuming, even though you're estranged from your daughters, you'd feel bad if someone went missing.
I'd feel, something.
Right.
A bit, yeah.
Given that the guilt that the professor feels is from someone going missing.
Yes. A child as well.
I think next adventure will begin with the train arriving in the teeming metropolis of Grand Central. Overlooked by the sovereignty, and in their stony gaze and those they left in charge of the city while they sleep. You'll be headed towards the slough, it sounds like, and look for work. Or perhaps this Gaedran.
Probably going to spend the whole session next time navigating the bureaucracy of the train company, trying to get settle in.
It sounds like the best adventure ever.
4 weeks of
Alright,
gameplay.
so as a summary to those who are still with us, Zephyros, describe your character class and what your shtick is and what your build's going to be.
Yeah, sure. So I am a Tusker Fant Wizard Evoker.
This is the big guy here.
Yeah.
Fant are a custom race, basically using sort of like Loxo as sort of a template. No racial hit dice, but he is very large and strong, especially for a wizard. Ludo, what are you?
I am a rogue ninja halfling, very odd, and I'm planning on trying to gestalt into alchemy to kind of continue the trend of odd characters in this, see how it all works out, kind of playing around.
In the last campaign, they achieved Gestalt status, so they may at some point have these characters become special enough to earn a second class. So yeah. Matt, tell us about Pharisee.
Pharisee is basically a Gathlang transmuted into the Nihaka tree spirit race. Her shtick is that she was captured by gremlins and learned how to curse, captured by fae and learned how to sing, and now she's the curse singer that helps the party and hurts the enemy and tries to stay largely out of the way.
So the Bard Witch.
The Bard Witch, yes.
Chalmers, Professor. Sorry, Professor.
Professor, sir.
Thank you. Playing the Professor. He's not as fun of a race as everybody else. He's just a human. He is
Humans are
a Magus Eldritch Sage. He is obsessed with all things occult, spooky, dark, and cosmic horror. And if there is a Necronomicon in this multiverse, damn it, stream, I will find it. And my curiosity will probably end up me reading it and destroying the world, but I didn't say that out loud.
No, you're just gonna win the Deadpool.
Yeah.
You're gonna win D&D by reading the book. Nice. And then Manny is a half giant that was orphaned to halflings. Something bad happened to the pearl. I will explain more about what the pearls are as we go on. Part of the mystery of the campaign world is the campaign world itself and what it means. Why are they on an ether train? You don't need to know this stuff on the first adventure. Who built the ether train? Why is this necessary? You'll find out in successive episodes. So it's really cool hanging out with you guys. We'll do this on Tuesdays. Thanks for stopping by. Some of us do need to work in the morning.
God.
Apricot, Droop Fruit, Commander Root, Electrical Longboard, Kenny, Low Lily, Phil Derbeast, Skinny Seahorse, Skyclops, V and K, and Virgo Praz, and then everyone else who joined us tonight. Thanks for stopping by.
Nice meeting you all.
Yes, and we hope you guys enjoy this as much as we do.
Yeah.
Peace. Good night.
Bye. Bye. We're heroes.
Also, that happened there is just saying.
That was good fun. I've lost audio. No, I have audio
Sorry.
back. I have audio back.
All right, GG everyone.